Chapters 17 through 19 are the most political passages of the Apocalypse. And here I think we can have some real hope to understand the author's contemporary meaning. Chapters 17 through 19 are fascinating for the Roman historian because they are one of the few truly anti-Roman texts that survive. We don't have a whole lot of texts surviving that are openly critical of the Roman Empire. This is one of the most important. Chapters 17 through 19 are deeply anti-Roman. They are written by someone who loathes the Roman Empire, who really hates the Roman Empire. One of the angels comes and takes John and says, "Come, I will show you the judgment of the whore who sits on many waters." The woman was wearing purple, and on her forehead it said, "The mystery, Babylon the Great, mother of the whores." The whore who is drunk on the blood of the martyrs, who sits on the 7 hills. Who's he talking about? The Roman Empire sits on the waters. This Mediterranean Empire sits on 7 hills. What city has 7 hills? Rome. And what does he feel about Rome? It's evil. He hates it. Now, do you really hate anything? You don't have any real hates. You just dislike things. And to understand Revelation, you have to understand hate. It is a book that hates evil. Is it hate to call Rome the whore? Yes, those aren't mincing words, right? That is direct. Rome is Babylon, this allegory. Rome is the mother of whores, who is drunk on the blood of the martyrs. This is profoundly revealing for the author. It tells us something about his world. Rome has begun to persecute Christians. The book of Revelation is one of the very earliest indications that the Romans had truly started to persecute Christians. She is drunk on the blood of the martyrs, but the Lamb will overcome. God will destroy Rome. Chapters 18 and 19 are somewhat like the messianic texts of Qumran, of the Essene sect that imagined the sons of light destroying the sons of darkness, destroying Rome. But here, a purely Christian context. God will destroy Rome. In chapter 18, an angel comes down, proclaiming Babylon the Great is fallen. The kings of the earth mourn her death. The merchants of the earth, who'd made money off of selling their grain and oil and wine and jewels and slaves in the Roman Empire, mourn her death. But she is destroyed and cast into the sea. It's a prediction of God's triumph over Rome. The Word of God comes from heaven on a white horse with the armies of heaven. They defeat the armies of the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies. And the dragon is cast into a pit that will be sealed for 1,000 years. And the saints and Jesus, the Messiah, will rule for 1,000 years, though the rest of the dead are not yet raised. There will be another rebellion and a final judgment in which God will rescue those who are written in the book of life. All will be resurrected and judged, and those who are not in the book of life will be cast into a lake of fire. And the book ends with a startling image. There will be a new heaven and a new earth. Revelation imagines an essential split in time that is being ushered in by the events of the first century. There will be a new Jerusalem. This is written by someone for an audience who had lived through the traumatic destruction of Jerusalem. And it imagines a new Jerusalem, a glorious new city, where the Lamb, Jesus, and the bride, his church, will dwell, with a river of life, with a tree of life bearing fruit, where there is no curse, and no suffering, and no labor, and there is no darkness.